Hi guys, how are you? I hope everyone is okay. I hope each and every person is fine. It's been long, maybe a week since we had such communications. So today guys, I'm back with a topic that we are going to discuss. And the topic of the day is prayer. In most cases, we tend to hear we should pray, we should talk to God, we should dedicate our needs to God through prayer. But we may tend to hear the word prayer. But what exactly is prayer? So before we embark on the today's topic, I'll just start by the definition of the word prayer. Prayer, in some cases, it might be a communion with God. A prayer is interacting with God. Then finally, prayer is a dialogue between you and God. Why am I saying it is a dialogue between you and God? Prayer is a dialogue in such a way that it is a conversation that you talk to God and God talks back to us. That's why they always say God's time is always the best, because God will always talk to you at his own time. So as a Christian, we should have to wait for God's response at his own time. So simply, prayer is the dialogue between you and God. So let me talk about the reasons why we should pray. Like, why should you pray? Or rather, why should I pray? Before I embark on that, sometimes we may tend to pray and we expect the results immediately. No. That is why prayer, it is a dialogue between you and God. And that's why you should never ever be in the hurry. Never should you be in a hurry to get out of the presence of God. Because maybe the moment you are getting out of the presence of God, that's now the time God is working on your prayer. It might take a year, it might take 2 years, it might take even 5 years, but never should you ever be in a hurry to get out of the presence of God, because God will always take his own time. And as much he takes his own time, that's the time he's marking your prayers. Maybe your prayer has to go through a certain process. So never should you be in a hurry to get out of the presence of God. Then let's talk about the reasons why we should pray, or rather, why are you praying? Number one, the reasons as why we pray, it is because we are dedicating our needs to God. Maybe you have a certain project in your life, and you know very well, without engaging God in your project, it won't go far, or rather it won't work very well as you are expecting. But the moment you welcome God into your projects, into your life, they will always go as the way you are expecting them to go. Why? Because God is directing you. God is taking the lead in that project. So that's one of the reasons as to why we should pray. Then number two, why should we pray? This is because we are confessing our wrongdoings to God. This comes whereby maybe for a fully changed Christian, maybe when you see something is going not the way you are expecting, or you are going in the opposite direction, or you are doing the vice versa as not per the way it's required to do. That's when you go to God, go onto your knees and ask God for forgiveness. We can see forgiveness started in the Bible. Even when David had committed adultery, after realizing, no, I have committed a sin, David went on his knees and prayed to God, asked God for forgiveness, and that was through prayer. So number two, the reason as to why we pray, we are confessing our wrongdoings to God, and in return, God will always forgive us, because he says he is always there 24/7. He is always there listening to you. So whatever you pray, maybe you are praying for forgiveness, God is always ready to accept it and grant you in return the forgiveness that you are seeking from him. Then finally, why should we pray? Number 3, we have to appreciate God for various gifts into our life. Why am I saying that? Through prayer, we are appreciating God. Because in most cases, when people start praying, they start by appreciating God. Why? Because, and a point to note, God is always ready to hear our appreciations. So when a good prayer should start with appreciating God. Thank God for the gift. And the most important gift, which people tend to take for granted, is the gift of life. When you start praying, start by appreciating God in your prayer. How are you going to start? By appreciating God. Like the moment I'm talking right now, it is because of his will that I'm talking to you today. And that comes through the gift of life. So when you start praying, start by appreciating God. And foremost, start by appreciating for the air that you are breathing in and out. Because there are those who had that admiration to see the day, but they haven't. But for us whom God has given us a chance, whom we have been granted a chance to have a gift of life today, when we pray, we start by appreciating God. Just appreciate God for the good things, however much small they might seem to be. But there are people in hospital who are yearning for the gift of life, but they are not. But immediately when you start by appreciating God for the gift that he has granted unto you, God has more and more to give you because of the appreciation that you have upon him. So those were the 3 main points as per why should we pray. Remember, our point number 1 was to bring or to ask for our needs from God. Then number 3, it was to confess our wrongdoings to God. Then lastly, it was to appreciate God for the gifts, for the various gifts that he has given unto us. And the most important gift that you can ever afford, it is just the gift of life. Once you have life, you have everything. Once you have life, you can change anything around you. You can work hard for the things that you do not have, so long as you have life with you. And who is the giver? It is only God who can grant us that gift. And sometimes we tend to take it for granted, but which is wrong. Just waking up and seeing the new day, it is very much important. Because when you sleep, you never know what will happen. You might even go sleep forever. But when you wake up, you get a chance. It is good for us to appreciate God. So guys, that was for today. Then in the next video, we shall focus into it much details. We shall talk about types of prayers. Prayer, it is in general, but there are various types of prayers. So that's why they always say God answers prayers in 3 ways. You might be asking for something that you are not able to acquire. Or God says, if I give you this, you are going to be maybe a bad person. That's why God will say no. You are asking for some things that are ahead of you. God will always say, wait. You are asking for maybe something that you want maybe immediately, or you are in need of something in your life. God says yes. So in the next video, we shall talk about types of prayers. Then before I wrap up the video, I just have to urge you to continue supporting the channel. Like, share, comment, and foremost subscribe. So guys, Let's meet in the next video. I love you. May you have a blessed day, a blessed week, a blessed month, all the days of your life. I'm out.